You start connecting dots between slavery and mass incarceration, between colonization and modern poverty, between environmental racism and corporate greed, and suddenly, history stops being the past. It becomes the blueprint of our present. That's why those who fear change fear history, because truth dismantles myths, and myths are what keep the powerful comfortable, but the cracks are showing. Across the world, people are reclaiming their histories, not just as facts, but as weapons of understanding. Because knowing where the wounds came from is the first step toward healing them. Every uncovered story becomes a mirror, showing us not what America pretends to be, but what it truly is, a nation still being written by every voice once silenced. And here's the most radical truth of all: remembering doesn't divide us. It unites us through honesty, because only when we face the entire story, the beauty and the brutality, the progress and the pain, can we begin to write the next chapter with clarity. Hidden histories aren't threats to patriotism. They're proof that patriotism can evolve. That love for a country isn't about denying its sins, but about demanding it live up to its ideals. So when we tell these stories, in classrooms, in films, in families, we're not just rewriting history. We're reclaiming the soul of a nation, because truth once spoken doesn't fade again. It echoes, it challenges, it heals, and maybe that's what America has always needed most. Not another myth to believe in, but the courage to finally face the truth. The stories we've uncovered don't belong in the dark anymore. They live beyond the pages of forgotten books, beyond the walls of silent museums. They live where people choose to remember, in communities, archives, and voices refusing to fade. If you want to find America's hidden histories, don't just look in the history section of a library. Look in the margins. That's where truth has always survived. In a small community center in Tulsa, descendants of the 1921 massacre keep photos, letters, and oral stories alive, not as relics, but as proof. Proof that erasure failed. In New Mexico, indigenous storytellers record ancestral songs to preserve languages once banned by law, turning memory into resistance. In Detroit, a group of retired factory workers transformed an abandoned warehouse into a living museum of the labor movement. Each photo on the wall tells a story of grit, unity, and the cost of progress that history books prefer to skip. And across the country, in classrooms, teachers are bringing these lost voices back, not as footnotes, but as the foundation of what America truly is. It's no longer about waiting for permission to tell these stories. It's about reclaiming them. Digital archives, podcasts, TikTok series, grassroots documentaries. The new historians aren't just scholars. They're ordinary people with microphones, cameras, and the courage to remember. On a street in Charleston, an artist paints the faces of forgotten freedom fighters on the walls of old buildings. He says, if the textbooks won't remember them, the city will, and that's the power of visibility. Because history, once seen, can't be unseen again.